Hey, what's up, Popverse? It is your staff writer, Grant, here. I am joined by some of the minds behind The Walking Dead, Daryl Dixon. Thanks, everybody, for chatting with me. Starting off, Daryl Dixon is a show that's built on friendship surviving adversity and, the undead. What do you think, what lessons can friends who are maybe facing some adversity themselves kind of glean from this show? And this is for anybody.
You want this? I want to hear what you're going to, I really want to hear what you're going to say.
I think there's safety in numbers. I think part of the show is who you're going to pair up with to get over the tragedies in life, and who you're going to fight for, who you're going to... Who do you know that has your back? So I would say look to your friends for help. That would be my biggest one.
And I think a big part of the appeal of Daryl and Carol has been the depth of that friendship and the ways in which they kind of rise to the moment for each other. So when one's hurting, the other one comes through for them. So I think that's baked into sort of what the appeal of the show, the appeal of Norman and Melissa playing Daryl and Carol is. I think that's a major through line.
Earned friendship.
Say that again?
It's an earned friendship.
An earned friendship?
Yeah.
What do you mean by that?
Well, we've been working together for 15 years. So, if you cast two actors to play that close of friends, they could probably pull it off. Hopefully, but the fact that we've been working side by side for this long, our friendship is real off camera. So I feel like those two characters, you can tell it's an earned friendship. We've put in the time,
Love that. Well, along those lines, I guess, can you, and again, this is for anybody, can any of you speak to the moment that you knew there was going to be this spin-off in particular? And not just like a hypothetical, wouldn't it be fun to do a Carol Daryl show, but particularly what was kind of the moment that it was decided, like, yeah, we're going in this direction?
For me, when Scott called me.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's what I found out.
But, Norm is an executive producer on this. Norman was there, boots on the ground in the beginning, and Norman made a lot of very important calls. So we had goofed around with some things, and then I had called him up, and I was very nervous about this question. I was like, what do you think of France? And his answer depended on what the show would be. Because if he said, oh, no, we're not doing that, it wouldn't have been that. And when he said yes, I was like, oh, I think we have a show.
People think I picked France, but I didn't. He picked France.
Yeah.
Did you
well, needed to know you would dig it. And then David took the ball and ran with it.
Yeah, but you guys did it, like, that's what was presented to me by Scott initially, and then by Norm soon after that, was we want to do a show that has the same vibe as Walking Dead, but expands on that and builds on that, and it's Daryl Dixon in France. Come tell us a story. So that's how that was the onset. I wasn't there at that moment, so that was your question, but that's sort of how the whole thing came together. Was they said Daryl Dixon in France? You got a story for that? And Norm and I sat down, and I understood what he wanted the show to be and how he wanted to feel and what he wanted to do with the character, and then I just tried to build on that.
Sure. So was the, following up on that, was there already kind of like here's what France looks like in mind that so that was created
there was
after?
Some little bit of mythology stuff. That's it. Just a little bit of mythology stuff. Not the mythology of France. There was some, we had a tag about walkers on one of the shows. But after that, the ball was run with.
Okay, I see.
And tonally, there were a lot of talks about what to be tonally, and a lot of things that I hadn't even known about. Like, is it called Along Came Bronson?
Yeah, Then Came Bronson.
Then Came Bronson. I just watched the hell out of that. Yeah, Kung Fu I knew, but there was a real vision there, and you know, I was excited to be there to support it.
Have you ever heard of that? Then Came Bronson.
No, I'm
It,
sorry.
it was a television show. Mickey Rourke told me about it. He said there was one character on television that all like the delinquent kids like really looked up to, and it was a guy on a motorcycle traveling cross country that had a certain thing about him. He had no particular place to go. He wasn't in a hurry. He was just sort of taking the day as it goes. But his attitude in a world where everyone's working and full of drama, he would like pull up to a gas station and two people would be fighting and they'd draw him into his conversation. And by the time he left, they had a different perspective on things. And that's kind of, I think Nicolas Cage owns the rights to Then Came Bronson. I want to say that, I might be wrong. But that and Kung Fu and Billy Jack and stories that were a guy traveling on his own in this nomadic way, sort of like learning the lessons of the world, was kind of one of the jumping points, I guess.
It was very much, and some of that stuff I knew, a lot of it, but that one stuck out for me just because I think it's been brought into this. I think we feel it, and it very much reflected a hope to be something very different than The Walking Dead, something apart from The Walking Dead. And yet, you know, it's with these characters that you can't separate from The Walking Dead.
I remember having a conversation early on. I think it was during the episode that you directed in the snow. Remember that? Mm-hmm. And I think it was Angela or someone asked me, how do you want this show to end? And I go, everybody dies.
No, I remember that.
And the world's burning. All of our friends are in slow motion saving each other. And I go, Carol, get on the bike. And we just take off. And we can't go back because everybody's dead. And we just go see who's left. Let's just ride and see who's left in the world. And that was kind of we had playlists for it and all this stuff. That was early on.
Two questions off of that then. First of all, okay, so season 4 is going to be the last season. I assume, I'm not asking for spoilers, don't worry. I assume you have the ending in mind, or at least, you know, something close to it. How close is that ending to what you were originally envisioning for the end for Carol and Daryl? Is it wildly different? Are there elements that you've kind of kept the whole way?
That's so...
Well, it's not. I mean, it's sort of a me question in terms of the 4 seasons of this show, if that's what you're asking.
Yes.
I mean, I didn't have an ending in mind at the beginning. So to be honest, we've just evolved the story and tried to keep moving them forward and see where the characters tell us they want to go. Like what, in terms of what makes sense for them for the story, and also talking to Norman and Melissa and trying to make sure that we're not getting stuck in a rut, that we're continuing to evolve and grow and deepen the characters. So I didn't have an ending in mind. So the ending to me is just the ending that makes the most sense at this point in time. But that's a different question for these guys who have been living with those characters for a long time. I've been living with them for the 4 seasons of this show.
I mean, one thing I'll say, last week we had an incredible episode of season 3, one of the best of the series. We have some episodes left here, and I don't want to jump to season 4 before we really talk about season 3, because there's a big ending to that. Yeah. And I could get into the conclusion, but the run-up to the end of this story is intense and inventive and emotional, and there's been so much pressure happening this season, even between the characters. The way it all ends this season is massively satisfying.
That's totally right. And also, I was only realizing this recently, but I think the last 4 episodes of season 3 are all amazing and just propulsive. When you starting with the sort of firewalkers being jettisoned into the village and that huge battle, and then this recent episode, which was mostly about Daryl in a leper colony, and then the next 2 that are coming after it. Those 4 are just filled with so many amazing moments, both in terms of action and gore and character, and story, and they leave you in a place where you, as you'll see, like there's a lot of story to go before we get where we're getting, and there's 8 episodes of season 4 coming after those 4 that we just talked about. So there's a ton of good stuff before we get to any kind of resolution.
Amazing. I love that answer. Well, as we're winding down here, and since I want to stop trying to force you to talk more about the
us into
conclusion.
things.
Yes,
we will not
exactly.
accept that.
Yes, 100%, as you shouldn't. I did have some rapid-fire questions for you, just from your perspective, working on the show for so long. Question number 1, of the 4 of you, who would leave Hot Ones first? You know, the show where they eat hot wings?
Oh, Greg.
What?
Well, I would say you for certain. Just I would just.
Oh.
Yeah, I'd just say I think Greg would leave first.
I would unwillingly have to bow out.
Yeah.
Okay. You're not a spicy food fan?
Yeah.
That's a little
I love
surprising.
spicy food.
Yeah, we-
also, I have
yeah, we don't-
stomach issues.
Yeah, we don't. I didn't mean to
sadly.
blow up your
No,
spot
that's
there.
all
I
right.
didn't want to say.
I would probably just go and just explode like from the inside.
Yeah, actually, I could picture
Which
you
would-
going
which
through
would-
it.
I would
Now
totally
I think
do that.
I would. Wow, that's quite an image.
It would be unwillingly that he leaves. He'd be
Yes.
clutching onto the table.
Okay. All right. Well, you points for courage then, I guess.
You know who I'm going to say, and she'll get mad? Lauren Cohan.
Ooh.
She would leave first.
Okay.
She's
Clip
going to
it.
get very mad, but I watched her do it live.
Okay. Second rapid fire question: who would most likely? Oh man, I feel like the answer is already going to be you. Who would most likely be the person be the person in the suit at the end of a Scooby-Doo episode?
Oh, totally me.
Let's say,
I don't know,
let's say
Norman,
second
maybe.
most
I
then.
what that means.
I don't
Like,
even
You
know
know,
the
at the
reveal
end of
either.
Scooby-Doo, they
It's
like
the bad
they
guy.
take
Oh,
off
the bad guy.
It's like it's,
Oh, the reveal of the bad guy.
I would make the suit, but somebody else could be in it. I think you'd be good at that, Norm.
Yeah, I don't even know what that means.
okay, let's go to the floor.
Scott.
Yeah, I think people would. I think people wouldn't assume.
That's why.
Yeah.
That's true. Scott.
That's true. They would unmask, and you wouldn't be expecting to see Scott's face. I think
Yeah.
that's a good point.
Shaggy would just
I would be
pass
the red
out.
herring. They would think it was me.
Yeah.
And
This lady over here, the hat. Hi.
yeah,
Hello.
people are waving in. And then final question for you, and this gets most of you off the hook, except for Norman. Sorry.
Oh, cool.
Who in the cast would spend the most money on merchandise of their own Walking Dead character?
Greg, hands down. He would steal
I'm not a
it.
character.
He wanted
Oh,
I got it all for free. So.
Okay,
Kind of our character. You've been a zombie a million times.
This is true.
that's true.
I did buy a lot of. But like when Walking Dead came out, and they would have posters, and there was like the art shows that they did. Was it Bottleneck Gallery? Who did that? There was some really great artwork that was done, and I would buy that, or I would meet an artist that I loved, and then I would have AMC hire him to do some of our posters and stuff. So, I think Scott and I were very involved a lot with the initial, like a lot of those posters. We even just designed some because, like Rick and Carl on the train tracks for season 4, that poster, we ended up doing a lot of that stuff.
I mean, all the posters in the Walking Dead office that still exists, nearly all of them are, I'll just say, fan-made.
That's fantastic. I had no idea.
Other than cool things that Greg has made, but Greg is a fan.
Fan art is
Greg's a
always
massive
good.
fan.
It's always
Oh
good.
my gosh! I mean, there's so much of it here. Actually, on that subject, this would be a perfect cap. Do you remember any fan art from this particular show, like New York Comic Con? I mean,
Yeah.
that like stood out.
There's a guy named Basil on Instagram that makes really good Daryl Dixon posters. He's kind of, I repost them from time to time. They're great.
Awesome.
This is a guy I know, brilliant Simpsons artist, and no doubt's official archivist, who made
No doubt the band.
made some just brilliant little cartoons almost on a weekly basis for a while for Walking Dead.
That's fantastic. We'll have to look up some of them and like link them as we as we put this video out. But that is our time. Gentlemen, thank you so much for
Thank you.
chatting
Thank you.
with me.
Thank you, thank you.
If you want to see any more interviews like this, just head to thepopverse.com. We are only halfway through New York Comic Con 2025, though, so we still have quite a bit coming at you. Again, thank you all so very
Thank you.
much.
Thank
Thanks
you.
a lot, man.
Thank you, man.